Hi guys. So we are in week 3, run 2 in 3v3 GAC, and this is a recap of what happened against Kin, and this is actually a rematch because I just faced him last week. So at this point, when I was doing my attacking, he already attacked, and he's just waiting on ships. So my front zone was Barry's crew, OG Kylo, and he managed to get a hold. Hunter lead Bad Batch, and then Gas with Rex and Fives, Qui-Gon Jinn, and then DR with Malak and Talon. But he ended up one-shotting them. And then up here, my CLS team managed to get a hold. And DR, Magna, Nast, Boba, Dengar, Zam, Inquisitors, and then Dooku lead Sith team. But yeah, he managed to one-shot all of them. And when we moved to the back, he managed to one-shot all 3 of my GLs, Rey, Lord Vader, GMK, and then also my Dash and Quira team. And he set a really interesting defense. Yeah, so this was my fleet defense. We're going to talk about it a bit later, towards the end of the video. So up top, he set Siddious lead set with Talon, with his Omicron, Dash, CLS, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Boba. So yeah, it's nothing really special except that Talon team, which can be annoying, and obviously this Boba team as well. Because of the Zam Omicron, they can do some massive damage. But down south, this is where we need to start. And he plays this Rey team with Armor and Hoda. Also Sortie as well. And that's an R9 Sortie. So that's going to be really difficult to deal with. And Rex lead 5s with Malak. That's a strong team as well. And also Gas with Arc and Echo. I think the last team was JML with Ayla and was it Ezra. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting well, it was an interesting front wall. So what I decided to do is I used JKL with Shakti and Old Ben, because the JKL lead can slow them down. So the goal is here to take out 5s as fast as possible, and once 5 is gone, then obviously you need to take care of Rex because of his Rexalate, and then deal with Malak. But unfortunately, whenever you crit, you force a taunt on Malak. So that's not good, and I actually end up paying with my banners for that, because it took me a while to deal with this team. And as you guys can see, Old Ben is not looking good. So I was trying to burn him down as fast as possible, but then Malak decided to go again, and obviously when we crit him, we end up well, we will get feared. So yeah, nonetheless it was 64. So you guys saw me use this counter many times, and normally the key thing is that you need to stop armorer to land to give her 3 stacks to Rey, because that could be annoying. So that's why I started on armorer to stun her, and now it's all about reaching get Rey into DI before she reaches his ultimate. Now I used middle instead of basic, which might have been a mistake, but reason I did middle there, not just only because of the stun, but for the offense up as well. So we managed to get Rey into DI, which is really nice, but now we need to get armor into DI as well, and she managed to land the armor shred on Palpatine, which is not nice. And now Rey's into ultimate, which is good for us, but now basically armor are going to get a free turn, and now it's all about who's going to who is she going to give the stacks, the buff. So you want to get the 3 inspired buff from Rey. He ended up surviving the ultimate really easily, but now she gave the stacks to Rey. So she already did her job. And now she's dead. Now it's unfortunately we cannot deal as damage. Actually, let me pause it. So what happened there is you guys saw that Rey had all those debuffs on her, which meant that she could deal 50% less damage thanks to the Starkiller Omicron. But now what happened is Hoda used his middle, put it on Rey, and it immediately dispelled all the debuffs from her, and that's why she ended up one-shotting Palpatine. So now we landed the debuffs again, which is good. But here's the other thing what happened now. We couldn't kill Hoda, which means that Rey will use his whirlwind. We ended up eating it without any problem, but we just keep pushing and pushing, but all that 3 stacks are hurting us like really bad. Again, the 3 stacks will remove the debuffs from Rey as well. So without any debuffs, Rey can do some serious damage. Like, and she went into her second ultimate, and that's really bad. Starkiller barely have any health left, and yeah, that was just game over. So yeah, it was a disappointing. So at this point I was like, oh great, let's do something to try to get the banners back. Now I know normally this counter can go south, but I was like, well, I need to risk it. There's no other choice. So I need the banners. So Wampa is barely hanging on. We already have armor shred, but we managed to Gas to sit down, and now it's all about trying to take care of the clones before Gas stands up. So I ended up using basic instead of hauling. So now at least we managed to take care of the clones. So it's a 1v1 versus Gas now. And yeah, Wampa managed to win for 58. And that was really good. And so this shorty team. Now this team is really beefy. And so I was like, if Kint set the Lord Vader team at the back, I was going to use Fennic with Grief and Bam. So I didn't really need it, Mando and Bossk, So my whole point was to go in and try to use Mando's Annihilate and take care of Sorted, because she's so like the HP she has is just crazy. So now the problem number one is IG is the one that is the weakest ally. So, and I cannot reach him. So that's annoying. So now we just keep waiting and waiting. I figured that now T3 managed to become the weakest, luckily. So we need to kill it first anyway, because it has the spare parts buff. But now because of the revive, it switched back to IG-88 again. He was the weakest. Finally we managed to trigger our contract. So now it's all about Mando taking his turn, and once he takes his turn, yeah, we can one-shot Sortie. IG-88 is annoying as well, because whenever he applies the target lock, we cannot regen health and protection. But yeah, it's still not a cheap counter, but I would say it's okay. So we had the Ray and JML left. So I was like, I don't know if we have enough. If I didn't know if I wanted to waste a GL as of yet. So I sent in a lot of burner teams to get Ray into yellow. I cut out those videos, because that was mostly just me sending in burner teams, time out, send in another one, let it time out. So I'm just keep doing this, but unfortunately this is 3v3 and not 5v5. In 5v5, Geos can clean up Ray +2 sometimes with high relic Geos. That's not a problem. Here on the other hand, it's just you don't have enough firepower. Like, you guys can see that these are like R7 Geos, mostly all of them. Like Poggle is R5, but we just don't have any damage. So Spy died, which is not great. Poggle is still around, so I decided to keep going and going. Maybe I can get her into yellow. But it's just, that's why I kept going. So I was like, and now I started to worry, because she has an extra protection. Once she uses her lifeblood again, I was like, that might be a good point. So I timed out, and I decided to give one last shot with this team, Wedge Han Chewie. So I was like, maybe they have enough firepower to push through, burn through that 45% health. But just that's an R9 Ray, by the way. So yeah, she one-shotted my Chewie, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I wasted all these battles. Let's just use JML, because at this point, if I'm keep going to try, that is just, I'm going to waste teams, then I won't be able to full clear at all. So I had to take a gamble. I sent in this fairly cheap team, like nothing special with JML mainly. He's going to do the work. I took Plow because of the his thermometer gain. So really there is nothing special there. But again, I was worrying that there are GLs at the back. So that was easy. And then I figured that, yeah, let's use C against JML. I took Assassin in just because figured that she can go under stealth, which means that they are forced to go after Wattenborg, and that will buy me some time. But then they decided to one-shot her, so there's that. And now it's just me waiting for my ultimate. Luckily Ezra takes a lot of out of 10 moves, so it's just, yeah. Once we reach our ultimate, like, C is a hard counter for JML. He goes into his ultimate, but yeah, at this point it's over. I was just trying to get my banners back, but yeah, it was really bad. 51. So let's see how many GLs he has at the back. By the looks of it, none. Yep. So there's that Tusken team again. If you guys remember from last week against Kin, my Wampa timed out against it. So Maul with Candy, Sid trio, and then Darth Maul lead DR with Basti, and JKR lead Shakti and GK. So these are some really good teams, even though there are no GLs here. So yeah, I really had to bring my A game, so I decided to take out the teams that I know that I need to use anyway, like the counters. Then we can start working on our taking care of the more difficult teams after I finish with the easier ones. Like, I'm sure many of you guys are using this counter. There's nothing special about it. It's just annoying because it takes a while. Basically, you don't really have any real damage dealers. So what you need to do is you need to keep applying armor shred on 3-pack. I usually apply 3, and then once I've done that, I can use basics and Gideon special. But the key thing about this fight is that you really need to control the battle. Like, you always need to pay attention to the turn meters, both yours and CLS's team, because you want that fracture to stay on and as long as possible. So that's why you always need to use like the Thrawn lead special. And also, when you use your Gideon's turn meter remover, it also removes turn meter from Thrawn. So yeah, as you guys can see now, 3-pack has 3 armor shreds, but now the problem is I'm getting a lot of dodges. I was really annoyed by this on my live stream. I just keep getting dodges and dodges and dodges. See, another dodge. Yeah, I wanted to keep the days on, and finally 3-pack has died. So now, same thing with CLS. Keep applying armor shred. And after that, you basically just burn him down. Usually having 2 armor shred is enough on CLS. And 57. So yeah, this is a fairly like consistent counter against Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin and Cam, but things can go sideways. What I suggest is, before you kill Qui-Gon Jinn, you need to wait like a turn to increase the cooldown on Anakin, like what with Nute second special, and then now you can kill Cam, which means he won't be able to use his AoE. Also, if you have extortion on him, sometimes he skips a turn to remove that. So yeah. Now I think it's going to be a max banner. Yeah, 57. So once you can control it, don't rush it, then it should be fairly easy. 57. But again, it looks simple, but yeah, there are a couple of steps you need to look at. So I decided that after I talked with some of my guildmates, yeah, I'm not. Also, I already used Wampa against Gas, but yeah, this I don't really want to time out, so I decided to use Trio here. I was debating on it for a while because I really wanted to save Traya against Dash, because that's a really strong team. So now I'm just basically just waiting for Nihilus' Annihilate, but I was like, I was keep going after him for the summoned Raider for a while, before I realized that, oh god, I need to switch. I need to switch the Isolate to the summoned Tusken, because otherwise I'm going to stuck. There's no point annihilating him, because he's just going to come back. So I have no idea why I didn't use Head by Hatred, by the way, but for the bigger hit, but that's alright. So yeah, now I managed to isolate finally the summoned raider, and I can take care of the original one. Once it's gone, now I just need to pick apart the others. I don't have this Omicron. I don't have the Omicron on my Tuskens, but just a really annoying team. There are other counters out there for them, like the one I used against Sorty, like Bossk with Mando. Basically, you need somebody that you can, like, you need to annihilate the original raider. So I was thinking about what to use against this team, because I was really scared of Maul. If you guys watch my previous video in round 1, you guys saw that JKR with JKR lost against this team. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use the same counter which I use against Lord Vader, just because Bam will, well, he will protect the rest of the teams, because I cannot stop Maul going off. Like, there is no way. So now I'm going to put the turn on Fennic to protect her. I just decided, okay, I'm just going to use armor shred so I can make make my job easier. But see, we already burned down 2 DI saviors, and they still have full protection. So we triggered finally our contract. I wanted to one-shot Maul, but I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. I was like, I'm not going into poop stance, because I still want to keep the DI around. But this is where we got lucky. Excuse me, because yeah, Mando managed to stay alive. But now we are looking good, because Fennic's damage is ramping up. But yeah, I'm glad I took Bam, because I think we managed to win because of Bam. Against a trio, yeah, this is a really simple fight. Basically, just you send in troopers. You need to annihilate. Well, I need to kill Nihilus first, because of the cooldown increase and everything. And if you let him stick around long enough, then he eventually is going to ramp up his health based on the debuffs and everything. So, but banner wise, it isn't a good counter because all the out of attack turns, so it's only a 54. And then against this Talon team, I was like, okay, Talon's Omicron is annoying, but it only applies if isolate and pain's involved, which means that if she's with Traya or Scion. So I was like, there's no real damage on this team. Worst case scenario, like I need to probably kill Siddious twice. Other than that, it should be a pretty straightforward battle for a high banner win. So yeah, now Talon came out from stealth. I'm just trying to control the battle. Now Talon's gone. Now we can go all in on Siddious. Yep. The banners are looking good. And now Seth has an AoE, which is not great. Bob was keeping an eye on his turn meter. So Kyle on his basic has an ability block, that's why I used it right here. So I was like, even if he takes a turn, that will be only a basic, a single fire damage. But yeah, it was an easy 57. So now, against this team, Dash team, I was like, that incoming damage is huge. So I decided to use Basti lead because of the extra protection, and also when we have the extra protection, we can deal more damage as well. So I was like, okay, let's buff GMY, and then we need to mark down Vendor because he needs to die first. Otherwise, Dash will keep coming back, and also L3 as well. But also, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but this is an R9 Vendor. So that's a no joke. He had like 135k health, and his damage is based on his max health, also the heal as well. So as you guys can see, like we're like barely doing any damage on him. Also L3 is annoying because of she can counter us all the time, but I still need to use GMY's AoE in order to decrease our cooldowns. But yeah, it's just a really annoying battle. I was like, once I can take out Vendor, it should be fine, but I really don't want him to get healed up. So I was like, come on, we can get that just a little bit more, and that should be it. And I was like, okay, finally. So now we can start attacking Dash. He's gone. I was like, oh god, L3 can counter us all the time. She can heal. So I was like, we really need a stun on her. Or at the very least, yeah, all these ability blocks, they are useful, but they're not going to stick, so. So now we managed to land a stun. But as I said, as you guys can see, this counters, once she reaches her 3 buffs, I have no idea on I can't remember on the top of my head what it does, but it really makes her tick. So yeah, it's just really, really annoying. I mean, we still have time, or it's just we need, and we are making good progress as well. It's just it's still annoying. So finally, and we managed to get 57. So I was like, I still have Slicker. At this point, I was like, JKL is the hardest teams left. So they don't really have any AOE except JKL, but I didn't want to send him on his own. So I was like, let's take Darker and Zombie, because then they won't be able to get around the taunt. Which is clearly not the case because they managed to dispel it. So I was like, okay, we're going to lose some banners here. So I was trying to heal up, but I realized that we don't have enough heal. So that was a really bad banner win, 53 with a GL. So and this DR team, I was like, okay, I still have Omicron first order tie. I wasn't sure about it if it's going to work or not, but I was like, that's probably my best option. So my idea was that I can call a mass assist on Basti and I can kill her immediately, but it wasn't enough. Luckily, the Red managed to take care of her. So now I was like, okay, we need to kill DR like ASAP. Even though that's not DR lead, that's really a dangerous, really dangerous team. Like I know Wampa and friends can counter this, but especially because it was in the back row, like you don't really have many teams left to deal with him. But yeah, luckily we managed to take care of it. And now I was like, there's nothing special about this team. Iden should be able to take care of him, but just in case I brought Shore, I was like, I need to take care of Zam first, because once she's dead, they're going to lose all the speed and extra offense and health. Now I know Boba is dangerous, because if she kills Iden, she won't be able to revive. But I was really confident that that's not going to happen. Also, I increased the cooldown on Boba with the death. So this is what we have on ships. I actually ended up having a 2-banner lead going into ships. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. So he set Malevolence with Sunfac and Spy, Holdo, and then Tarkin with Gauntlet and Darth Vader and Bomber. So I decided I'm going to use Negotiator against his Malevolence with 5s, Anakin and Y-Wing. So I only needed these two, Plo and Ahsoka, as reinforcements. So I was like, okay, if I can get good banners here, I can probably force Kin to like he needs to like underman a couple of fleets. Because yeah, remember I had a 2-banner lead. So yeah. Let's see. So I went after Sunfac, and the battle was looking really good. Because Sunfac is already gone. Use second with 5s, Spy is dead, which is great. Anakin is stunned, which is a bit annoying, but we're still looking really good, so... yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward from at this point. It's just, you want to kill Hyena as fast as possible, because I was surprised actually that IG is with Malevolence, but I suppose that he don't really need him in the Executor mirror. So now Hyena is already, well, it's almost dead. So I was like looking at the banners if I can recover anything, but not really. So I was like, okay, let's finish it. And I ended up getting 71. So yeah, I was like, okay, great. So now about this. Rebels versus Empire. Now normally I do this, but I failed with it once, and I think why I realized this, and the mistake is that it's Tarkin lead. It's a whole different story with Tarkin lead and then with Thrawn lead. Tarkin lead is just faster and they have more offense. So you guys realize that normally by this time, like, I can make like really good progress on Bomber if you guys watch my videos. And now look at that. That's because Gauntlet as well, because Gauntlet gives 50% extra defense, but I had no problem previously with it. But now I couldn't even burn through its protection, and now we are just absolutely getting annihilated. I cannot even back out. Like, I can't do nothing. So I was like, wow. That's a fully preloaded team. At this point I was like, okay, what can I do? I mean, I reacted a bit more poorly, to be honest with you. If you guys want to watch back my stream on Twitch, just a link is in the description. And by the way, please, if you guys managed to get to this point, please subscribe and like this video. We are getting really close to the 700 mark on my channel. I think we need like 10 more subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And also please comment down below if this happened with you before, like this whole Rebels versus Tarkin thing. So I decided, well, there's no way Holdo can clean this up. So I started to think like, okay, maybe Finalizer is the answer for this. Because, yeah, they are preloaded. But I was like, I still need to take care of Bomber first. So I was talking about my options, what can I do, but I wanted to like really, like I know I need to kill Darth Vader, but I also needed to land the stun. Because once you put burn down, then that's going to be annoying. So I was trying to get more turn meter, and we needed to take care of that Bomber. Like, that's our #1 priority. Already lost the 7-star echelon. So I was like, okay, great. I wanted to call in special forces, yeah, because I can call them an assist. And finally we managed to take our Bomber. But the danger is still huge. Like, they annihilated my R7 special forces. So I was like, okay, what do I do next? I was like, maybe we can take care of Darth Vader. Nope. So let's try it again. Now we managed to do it. But there's that new ship, Second Sisters. Luckily, at this point we already killed somebody with Haunted, so that ramped up the damage on Silencer. So now Gauntlet is gone as well. I needed to remove all those buffs. At this point I wasn't even caring about banners. I was like, okay, I probably need a tank just in case. So let's do a big hit just in case, because it managed to soak up the damage. And yeah, we managed to clean it up for horrible banners. Well, I was like, okay, now what we need to do is just... I never done a holdown mirror in my life, like ever. So I was like, wow. I have no idea what's going to happen. So basically, well, I had a rough idea, but I was like, okay, whoever is going to reach the ultimate is going to win. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I wanted to save the big hill. So I knew that I need to go after the fortress first, because I'm going to stuck on it anyway. But now I was like, oh great, now Clone Sergeant is here, that's a second on. But at the same time I was like, oh, that's actually good, because that's not a resistance ship, so that will give me some options that I can get ahead of it. With my ultimate. So I was looking good so far. I was actually making some progress. But of course there are always dodges. I didn't know about that mass assist, to be honest, because as I said, I'm barely using this ship, and most of the time when I'm using it, it already dies. So that's good to know. That's a mass assist. So Ray's gone as well, and we managed to reach our ultimate. And luckily Ebonhawk came in, because I really needed that to control the battle. Removed all the buffs. So yeah, it was actually 73, which is really nice. So yeah, at this point I was waiting for him to attack fleets, and I'm going to cut into the final result. I'll be right back. So here's the final result, guys. As expected, Kim managed to one-shot the ships. So yeah, it was a loss. It was really disappointing. Yeah, it's just the way things works these days. You can be as clean as you can on the ground. If you cannot one-shot the ships, it's just, yeah, it's simple as it is. You're going to lose. So yeah, I still have a positive record this season, and yeah, let's see if I can bounce back next round. So yeah, see you guys later. Bye.